Hello everyone. So today in this particular video, I'll talk about the difference between data science versus big data versus data analyst. Which domain is right for you? Why I come up with this video? There is a story behind that. So a few days back, I have launched my new playlist by the name of a machine learning, where I thought of delivering the videos with respect to the machine learning. Okay. So few students pinged me on LinkedIn by saying that is the same knowledge will be useful when we are giving the interviews for big data as well as data analyst, and the answer is no. So at that moment I realized that there is a utmost need to create this video first before moving ahead with that particular playlist. There is very much important need to understand that these terms are not interchangeable. There is a different set of skill set which is required whenever you are going for data science versus big data versus data analyst. So let's get started with this video and we'll try to understand that what is the difference between these three domains. See, why this confusion is coming up? Because all these three domains are interrelated with the data itself. Now, when I am talking about data science, let's try to understand that data science is a field which contains the knowledge of stats, programming, domain expertise. Basically, what we want there is to extract the insights from the data and we want to build the predictive models out of that. Let's try to understand. So what I'm saying is, in data itself, so whenever we are dealing with data, three broad categories or domains we have. One is something that we have is data science, which I'm talking about, right? Another one is something that we have is big data. And last I'm talking about is, as of now, data analyst. Fine. So when I'm talking about data science, what I'm saying is that here you should have a knowledge of, basically your task is to generate a predictive models which will be able to give me the predictions. Okay. Now in this particular domain, in order to generate this predictive models, you should have the skill set or knowledge of what I am saying as the statistics part. For that, if you will observe, I have covered up a separate playlist in which I have talked about specifically for data science per se itself, stats for data science. Apart from this, you should have a good knowledge of programming. If you are good in Python programming, I believe it would be good to go, right? So I am talking here Python. If you really want me to cover up Python programming also in my YouTube playlist, please let me know. I'll for sure try to do that as well. Now, apart from this, the concept of machine learning that we will start or we will learn in our channel, that is also a core component of data science itself. When I'm saying machine learning, apart from this, we will be having deep learning. Apart from this, we will be having domain expertise. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of domain experts? For example, if you are dealing with a problem with respect to finance, so you should have a bit idea about that finance domain itself. If you are dealing in healthcare domain, either you should have an idea or you are having a collaboration with the people or the doctors that already have a good idea about that. Then only you will be able to get the idea that whatever model is predicting, it is correct or not, right? Apart from this, concept of NLP, natural language processing, where we are mainly dealing with textual data, comes under again data science. Apart from this, reinforcement learning. Apart from this, AI ops, right? ML ops. All these things are coming up under the data science category. Now, when I'm saying big data, here your major task is to create complete end-to-end data pipeline. Here we are trying to deal with a huge amount of data, right? Which can be real time, which can be, batch wise. So here, if you will observe, you are majorly under ETL operations. You are doing these three operations, ETL. What is the meaning of that? Extract, transform, and load. Now, in order to get expertise over this particular domain, there is a separate tech stack where there is a concept of Hive, there is a concept of Spark, there is a concept of, Scala, usually, or you can do in Python as well, programming language I'm talking about. There is a concept of Scoop, right? And many more. So basically, this particular domain, which is data engineering domain, requires a separate tech stack. Yes, in both of these domains, knowledge of SQL plays a very important role, and it would be very much important, specifically when I'm talking about big data as well as data analyst. Now, what is the purpose of data analyst? So what I've talked about, in big data, we are trying to deal with a huge data and we try to create a complete end-to-end pipeline of that. So majorly 3 tasks: extract, transform, and load. This is what we are doing in big data. Separate tech stack, which is Hive, Spark, Scoop, SQL, concept of Hadoop, MapReduce, all these things plays a very important role. Hadoop for storage purpose, MapReduce processing, but nowadays we are using Spark for that. So basically the concept of distributed computing came into picture whenever we are talking about big data domain. Now when I'm talking about data analyst, their major role is to, analyze the data in the form of a statistical sense, right? So statistic again plays a very important role. Again, SQL plays a very important role, right? There is a lot of visualizations which are there. So there you will be having reporting in a proper format so that it will be easily, understandable to the clients. Dashboarding, all these things came into picture whenever we are talking about a data analyst domain. There is a separate tools for that. What I'm saying here is, if you will observe, one common thing is programming, which is required. In data science, Python is something which is a very much important tool, either Python or R, but usually Python is something where we can easily able to do all the tasks because it contains a lot of packages. In big data, nowadays PySpark is something, so Python again came into picture. And in data analyst, you should not be that much extreme level of programming pro, but you should having a good knowledge of stats, visualization tools, SQL, all these stuffs. So in a way, what I'm saying here is the tech stack that you can see in all these 3 domains are completely different. Or if there is an overlapping also, you have to understand what's the priority. For example, in data analyst, statistical visualization tools are having a more priority, right? In data science, stats, domain expertise is having more priority, right? Then machine learning, deep learning, NLP, all these things are different domains. Apart from this, CV, computer vision, right? There are so many stuffs that you should know. Now, when we usually see a complete system, for example, any recommendation system, you can see Netflix, you can see YouTube, right? Where you will be able to get a recommended videos according to your own likes, dislikes, subscribing, not so subscribing, and so on, right? You will be able to get the recommended videos. You will be able to get the recommended movies on Netflix platform. So whenever you will be having a complete system that is AI based system, in that particular system, if you will observe, all these tech stacks have been used. So it would be good if after some point of time you will be having a good knowledge of all these tech stacks. At the very start, when you're starting something, try to understand every particular domain. One of the biggest questions asked from me is there is a scope of data science in future? Is there is a scope of big data in the future? Is there is a scope of data analyst? Every particular domain has a very good scope. It completely depends on your interest. What is something which enthusiasts you to learn, right? If you love to have more challenges and if you love to have different domains to explore. For example, you are doing some project with respect to healthcare, then you're doing some project with respect to finance, then maybe some other domain, go for data science, right? But the only thing you have to understand here is the interest of yourself, right? You should be good with the mathematical part again. Stats, apart from this, I have completely forgot to mention probability, right? These things plays a very important role. If you love doing those things, then you are good to go with respect to this data science domain as well. So when I'm starting the playlist, I have started the playlist of machine learning. So now I hope I answered your questions, those who are asking from me, that when I'm saying machine learning, it means that it will be helpful for those people who are interested in data science domain, who wants to crack the interviews with respect to data science, and who wants to gain knowledge with respect to this domain, right? So this is something which I really want to talk about in this particular video. So here we have talked about what is data science. After that, we have talked about what is big data. So here we are dealing with a huge data set, right, which cannot be handled by our traditional data processing techniques. So there a concept of distributed computing came into picture. As you can clearly see on the screen, concepts like Hadoop, Spark, which is used to store, process and analyze the data, came into picture. Data analyst, responsible for collecting, processing and performing the statistical analysis. So there you should have a good knowledge of SQL, visualization tools, Excel. Again, Excel is again a very good tool which is basically used to visualize the data, right? So you should have a good command over these things. You should have a good expertise over these things. So I hope that with the help of these three things, whatever I have talked about, data science, big data and data analyst, you will be able to get an idea that what are the different set of skill set which is required in order to become data scientist, data engineer, data analyst, right? Now, in conclusion, what we can understood here, we have seen that on the basis of our interest, it completely depends on us which particular domain suits us. So try to check that what are the key things which are required. Whatever I have shown to you, I hope you can clearly see that. What are the things that you really want to explore? So accordingly, make your choice. Every domain is equally demanding. It's just your own interest, and make sure you should choose your own way, right? Not the other's way. So with this, let's end this video. I hope that this video clarifies you the difference between data science, big data and data analyst. With this, bye-bye everyone. Happy learning to all. And I'll see you all in my next video, where now I'll talk about the very first algorithm in machine learning, which is about the linear regression. I hope you all are excited with me. With this, bye-bye.